let's talk about the 10 important things you can start doing in preparation for a cadet program. Because for most of the programs that will be opening up early next year, you literally have, say, about less than a month for you to prepare. So I hope that you're already doing your preparations. Like I always say, you don't prepare when the program opens up, you prepare well in advance of the program. That would often ease your stress, and generally you perform better during the selection processes. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for clicking on this video. I thought I should make this video pretty quickly because I am going back to work today. And as you know, it gets busy and often I don't have the lights and all this other stuff while I'm working, even though I still try to make videos while I'm at the hotel. So by the way, if you find value in my videos, please don't forget to drop a like on the video. It goes a long way. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you have questions, leave in the comment section or reach out to me on Instagram. I will try to respond. I do have a few messages to respond to, I know, but you have to understand that this is not a full-time job for me. I have a regular job and I try to do this when I'm able. So please bear with me. First thing that I would like to say is that if you haven't thought about the eligibility requirement for the program, of course, you should know that already. Be very familiar with it. Look into the documents that you will need in order to apply to the program. And when I say requirements you need to have, I'm talking about maybe grades, age requirement, and things of that nature. Maybe even where you live or the right to live and work in the area. So please pay attention to those things so that you don't waste your time, you don't waste your resources in preparing, because if you don't meet those requirements, it will often work against you by the time you get through the stages. And trust me, you will think some of these automated systems will catch it. Sometimes you slip through the cracks and you end up getting to the final stage and you get denied the opportunity because you haven't met the requirements through the program. So pay attention to those things. The second thing will be the CV and resume requirement. Please pay attention to your resume, pay attention to your CV, watch out for errors, make sure things are written in a way that it is inviting, and also it can be easily understood by a stranger. Just because you prepared it doesn't mean that every other person will understand exactly the format and the style you've used. So use something that will be pleasing to the eyes, but at the same time easily understood without making it cumbersome for a stranger. It is worth getting your CV or resume reviewed by a professional. There's so many things that you are likely to miss that a professional will not miss. Also, there are some ways in which you would write your resume that a professional might be able to give you more insight on how to put it out in a more easily understood manner. Just as you are unique, your resume will be unique as well. And that's why you need to pay attention to your resume and maybe get somebody to check it out for you to make sure that you cover all grounds. The third thing that I'm going to recommend to you is to do an airline research. It is very important to research the airline properly. So study the business model of the airline, understand how the airline operates, understand the challenges the airline might be facing or they're going through, understand the values and maybe mission statement if they have one of that airline. Think about the growth plans of the airline as well, and don't forget the culture of the airline. Those things are important. Now, in talking about the airline, you should pay attention to maybe they have bases that are opening up, maybe they are closing some. Understand the pilot group itself. Maybe if you have friends in that airline, they could maybe give you some insights about the airline that could help. And of course, there's always the websites on the internet that you can always reach out or check out for information. So do your airline research, understand the airline very well. That will do you a lot of good, especially as you get through different stages when it comes to maybe the interviews and the likes. Okay, so keep that in mind. The next thing will be aviation competencies or pilot competencies. Now, I talk about this a lot. That is because when you go in for your interviews, when you go through any pilot selection program, when you go through any training event, there are competencies that are being tested, whether it's situational awareness, whether it's your resource management skills, whether it's your team management skills, whether it's your knowledge, whether it's your flight skills. All these various competencies are being tested. And if you, as I'm guessing maybe you're not really into the aviation world yet because you have no experience, but you're really interested in the career, then being familiar with these competencies will strengthen your candidacy or your knowledge, which could prove to be very important when you go through these assessments that you'll likely be doing. So be very familiar with those competencies. And by the way, I have a competency guide below. You can check it out in the description section of this video. The next thing in relation to aviation competencies will be the importance of customer service. You see, when it comes to flying, it's all about customer service. It's all about safety. Of course, safety is always number one, but customer service is, well, those are the people that are paying you for that flight in some sense, all right? They're paying you to get from point A to point B safely. So, of course, safety is always number one, but it is very important to have some sense of customer service in dealing with customers, managing their fears, helping them out in different ways. And if you have experiences in this area, it could come in handy, especially in relating your experiences to a potential interviewer. So something to keep in mind. If you are not versed in providing customer service, then I would say maybe do some reading about it, kind of understand what the whole idea of providing excellent customer service is, especially in the world of aviation. In relation to aviation competencies, it is also important to understand the qualities of a professional pilot. If you intend to be a professional pilot and you are asked, hey, what are the qualities of a professional pilot? Could you give some qualities of a professional pilot and talk about them in a way that you can demonstrate that you understand what it means to be a professional? If you can do that, then you got a good start, because that would help you in presenting yourself in the right way, whether it's the confidence, knowledgeable, whether it's your dressing, whether it's the way you speak, and the like. So the list goes on. Just do your research on this. I'm not trying to make these videos very long, but I'm trying to put the ideas to you to let you understand the things you should be working on right now. Number 5 will be to prepare your motivation statement. It is important to have a pilot motivation statement because you're likely going to be asked this question somewhere along the way, whether it's through an essay you have to write, whether it's through an interview or during an interview. These things will come up and they will likely want to know why you want to be a pilot. And if you don't have this down, this can come out either the wrong way, or if you haven't thought about it well in advance, you could struggle presenting your ideas in the right manner. So your goal is to be able to be honest with why you want to be a pilot, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're able to show the passion, show the determination, and show the tenacity that is needed to succeed as a pilot. Now, moving on to number 6, review math and physics concepts. These are things that you probably have done in high school, and if it's been a while that you've left school and you've been doing other things, well, you may need to start reviewing those things again. Trust me, when you do them, your speed and accuracy increases, right? So the more you spend time practicing and revising and reviewing these things, the better you're likely to perform during a test. So spend some time to review those basic math level and GCSE level maths and physics, so that you have a good and fresh knowledge of it. Number 7 will be to start practicing various aptitude tests. If you are familiar with the aptitude test you will be taking, then this is the time to start reviewing it on a regular basis so that you are fresh in dealing with those type of tests and doing them well, especially performing under pressure. That is the key thing, because you're timed, you now have this assessment right in front of you. Your ability to perform well really comes through the practice you've done and how recent you've done them. That could help you perform well. So check out pilotassessments.com for various resources on how you can start preparing for Cadet programs. Number 8 will be to learn about pilot responsibilities and duties. Well, if you are trying to get into a role and do this as a career, then you're likely going to be tested in your knowledge about the industry. So learning about the duties of a pilot and the responsibilities of a pilot will do you good. Number 9 will be to gain some experiences. Now, I have made number 10 kind of similar to this, but number 9 is, hey, if you have Microsoft Flight Simulator, Explain, or some form of simulator that lets you practice flying, then I would encourage you to do so, especially you are able to practice your scanning techniques, you are able to practice multitasking, and so on. These programs do help with those things. So I will encourage you to do that. And this would lead me to number 10, which is to get a discovery flight done. If you are able and you have the funds to do so and you have the time to do so, I would encourage you to get a discovery flight done, because doing a discovery flight really puts you in a real airplane where you get to fly with an instructor, shows you what a training environment looks like, and you're able to determine if this is really what you want to pursue before you commit a lot of money to it, whether through a sponsored program or a partly sponsored program. Either one, the point here is a lot of money will be committed to the program, and you want to make sure this is something that you truly want to do without a doubt. So if you have found value in this video, please don't forget to drop a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are the things you are doing that I haven't covered in this video? Please share it so that other people can also benefit from it. At the end of the day, this is a community, and as aviators, we want to help one another. So I would love to see you in the next one.